This video explores the turbulent history of Israel and the challenges the country has faced over the centuries. I will explain how Israel's ancient roots and modern conflicts have shaped its identity and politics. About 3,000 years ago, the Israelites lived in what is now Israel. They founded kingdoms like Judah and Israel, reportedly under kings such as David. Archaeological finds show settlements and temples. In 587 BCE, the Babylonians destroyed Jerusalem and exiled many Jews. This period deeply shaped Jewish identity. In 63 BCE, the Romans conquered the area, calling it Palestine. Jews still lived there, but there were revolts against Roman rule. In 70 CE, the Romans destroyed the Second Temple in Jerusalem. After the Bar Kokhba revolt in 135 CE, many Jews were expelled. The land was renamed Syria Palestina. From the 4th century, the Byzantine Empire ruled the region. Christianity became the dominant religion, and churches like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre were built. Jews and early Christians lived in small communities. Religious tensions existed. The land remained a religious center. In 636 CE, Muslim armies conquered Palestine. Jerusalem became a key city in Islam. Jews and Christians were allowed to practice their religions but paid special taxes. Mosques such as the Dome of the Rock were built. The area was part of various Islamic empires. In the 11th century, European Christians launched the Crusades to capture Jerusalem. In 1099, they took the city and founded the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Wars between Christians and Muslims followed. In 1187, Saladin recaptured Jerusalem. The Crusades left destruction and tensions. In 1517, Palestine came under Ottoman control. The area became a province of the Ottoman Empire. Jews, Muslims, and Christians often lived together peacefully. Jerusalem was a religious center but economically backward. Small Jewish communities existed, especially in Safed and Hebron. In the late 19th century, Zionism grew, a movement for a Jewish homeland. Theodor Herzl organized the first Zionist Congress in 1897. Jews from Europe, often fleeing anti-Semitism, immigrated to Palestine. They founded settlements like Tel Aviv. The idea of a Jewish state gained support. After World War I, in 1917, the British took control of Palestine under a League of Nations mandate. The Balfour Declaration supported a Jewish homeland, angering Arabs. Jewish immigration increased, leading to Arab-Jewish tensions. Britain struggled to maintain peace. Tensions escalated in the 1930s. From 1936 to 1939, Palestinian Arabs revolted against British rule and Jewish immigration. They demanded independence and an end to immigration. The British crushed the revolt, but then limited Jewish immigration. Zionists were angered, especially during the Holocaust. Conflicts continued to grow. The Holocaust, 1933 to 1945, killed 6 million Jews in Europe. Survivors sought refuge, many in Palestine. Illegal immigration grew despite British blockades. The tragedy increased pressure for a Jewish state. International support for Zionism rose. In 1947, the UN proposed a partition plan, a Jewish and an Arab state in Palestine. Jews accepted it, Arabs rejected it, claiming the land as theirs. Violence broke out between Jews and Arabs. The British decided to end their mandate in 1948. The region was on the brink of war. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the independence of Israel. It was the first Jewish state in 2,000 years. Ben-Gurion became the first prime minister. Neighbors like Egypt, Jordan, and Syria attacked immediately. Israel survived the war and gained territory. The 1948 war, called the Nakba, catastrophe by Palestinians, lasted until 1949. Israel defeated the Arab armies and expanded its land. Around 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled. Armistices were signed, but no peace treaties. Israel faced major challenges. After 1948, hundreds of thousands of Jews came to Israel from Europe and Arab countries. They fled persecution or sought a new home. New towns and kibbutzim were founded. Integration was difficult, especially for Mizrahi Jews. Israel grew quickly, but tensions remained. In 1956, Israel, with Britain and France, attacked Egypt to control the Suez Canal. Egypt had nationalized the canal and threatened Israel. The attack succeeded militarily but was condemned internationally. Under U.S. pressure, Israel withdrew. It showed Israel's military strength. In 1967, Israel fought the Six-Day War against Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. Israel captured East Jerusalem, the West Bank, Gaza, the Sinai Peninsula, and the Golan Heights. It was a decisive victory, tripling Israel's size. But the occupation led to new conflicts. Palestinians demanded their land back. In 1973, Egypt and Syria attacked Israel on Yom Kippur. After initial losses, Israel counterattacked. A ceasefire ended the war. The war showed Israel's vulnerability but also strengthened its reputation. Peace talks with Egypt began. In 1978, Israel and Egypt signed the Camp David Accords, brokered by the U.S. A peace treaty followed in 1979. Israel returned the Sinai Peninsula, and Egypt recognized Israel. It was the first peace with an Arab country. Many Arabs criticized Egypt for it. In 1982, Israel invaded Lebanon to expel PLO fighters. The invasion led to heavy fighting and civilian casualties. Israel mostly withdrew in 1985 but stayed in southern Lebanon until 2000. The war was controversial and increased tensions. The Palestinian issue remained unresolved. In 1987, the First Intifada began, a Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation. There were protests, strikes, and violence in Gaza and the West Bank. Israel responded harshly, drawing criticism. The Intifada showed Palestinian resistance. It ended in 1993 with peace talks. In 1993, Israel and the PLO signed the Oslo Accords. Israel recognized the PLO, and Palestinians gained limited autonomy in Gaza and Jericho. It was a hopeful moment for peace, but both sides had opponents who disrupted the process. Peace remained fragile. In 1995, Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, an architect of the Oslo peace process, was assassinated by a Jewish extremist. Rabin had promoted peace with the Palestinians in Jordan, 1994. His death shocked Israel and weakened the peace movement. Right-wing forces gained influence. In 2000, the Second Intifada broke out after failed peace talks. Palestinians launched protests and suicide bombings. Israel responded with military action and built a separation barrier. Thousands died, mostly Palestinians. The conflict destroyed trust on both sides. In 2005, Israel unilaterally withdrew all settlers and soldiers from Gaza. Prime Minister Ariel Sharon aimed to improve security, but in 2007, Hamas took over Gaza and launched rocket attacks. Israel imposed blockades, increasing tensions. Gaza remains a conflict zone. In 2006, Israel fought Hezbollah in Lebanon after a border attack. Israel bombed targets and heavy fighting ensued. The war ended after 34 days with no clear victor. Both sides suffered losses, especially civilians. It highlighted the Hezbollah threat. Between 2008 and 2014, Israel launched several military operations in Gaza against Hamas. Cast Lead 2008 to 2009 and Protective Edge 2014 targeted rocket fire. Thousands died, mostly Palestinians. The conflicts worsened Gaza's humanitarian crisis. Peace remained elusive. In 2020, Israel signed the Abraham Accords, normalizing ties with the UAE, Bahrain, and others. The U.S. brokered the historic agreements. It was a diplomatic success for Israel. But the Palestinian conflict remained unresolved. The accords changed regional dynamics. Since the 1990s, Israel's economy has grown rapidly, especially in technology. Cities like Tel Aviv became startup hubs, known as Silicon Wadi. Innovations in IT and medicine made Israel globally recognized. Prosperity increased, but social inequality remained. The economy is a strength. Israel has a diverse society with Jews, Arabs, Christians, and Druze, but tensions exist, especially around holy sites like the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Ultra-Orthodox Jews and secular Israelis often clash. Arab Israelis sometimes feel discriminated against. National unity remains a challenge. Today, Israel faces conflicts with Palestinians, Iran, and Hezbollah. Prime ministers like Benjamin Netanyahu shape its politics. Occupation and settlements remain controversial. Israel is a democracy with a strong army, but peace is elusive. The country seeks its path between security and justice.